that was obviously our best performance since I've been here on both sides of the ball in their kicking game. We made some mistakes, but our defense caused turnovers and our offense made big plays, and you have to do that. You have to be able to take what they give you, and we could actually had another one. We'll fumble the ball out of the end zone, but I'm proud of everybody. I know everybody always looks at the quarterback, but and Brandon played well. He played gutsy. He's playing out there like an Iron Man because he's so beat up. He needs these days off, and we're going to give him pretty much the whole week off this week coming up. We've got to get him back 100%. And but I tell you, when we needed him, he was in there firing. He only practiced a day and a half this week, and even surprised me. We came out through the ball deep on the first play because you don't think our timing is going to be there because he hadn't thrown it a whole lot down the field. But it was a great throw and a heck of a catch. So it was a good start. Again, our offensive line and defensive line played very well, and that's how we're going to play for the rest of the season. We got after the quarterback. We gave up a few runs, but I tell you, we got after the quarterback. We had 8 sacks. We pressured him. We made him throw some interceptions. I know the kid's a freshman, but still, he's tall. He's got a good arm on him. They're working the right guy for the future. 85 was hard to cover. But I tell you, we did some things today that we hadn't done in a while. We probably blitzed more today than we did in the first 6 games. And we did it because, number one, you go after a young quarterback. Number two, we've got to learn to play man coverage and press and make the quarterback throw in time and not sit back there all day and get the ball down the field for a 15, 18-yard gain. But again, I thought it was a great effort from all of our kids. They're ready to play. We had a very good practice this week. And I think the change of temperatures helped a little bit. It hurt a crowd, but it's a good homecoming. Had a lot of people here. We appreciate them staying with us and in the rain early and the cool weather. But it is getting to be football season, so we're excited about the changed weather coming up. Questions?
Coach, that first play from scrimmage, the long pass, you mentioned it was a surprise. Who called that?
Yeah, Eddie Green called it, and we have plays that we call them home runs, and we had another play that we had worked on to be our opening play in the game. Eddie liked the field position, and he's got full control, and he called it. I'm thinking, well, set a tone real quick one way or the other. The thing you worry about is underthrow and possible interception on the first play of the game. But it was a good read. It was a good route, and number 2 is going to be a guy that's going to be a force for us as we go through the rest of the year for the next couple of years. He's a guy that makes a good target. He's got very good hands. So it worked, and when they work, it's a great call. And I'll probably claim that call since it's worked. But if it hadn't worked, it'd been Eddie's fault.
Coach, has Brendan elevated his game to the point the past few weeks where he goes from a kind of guy that you can just kind of quarterback you can win with to kind of a quarterback now that can be the kind of difference maker that can win games?
Yeah, we've really changed our offense in the last few weeks. We've kept the same things, but we're not as much of a power team as we were. And we had to find something that would open it up. When Munching was in the game, people really feared his legs in terms of getting out of the pocket. And when you put Brandon in, it's totally different. They come under blocks, they force him out of the pocket, they just try to get in his face because they know he's not going to outrun a lot of people. So we had to come up with something, and by spreading it out, it got a guy out of the box, made him play a little bit more zone coverage, and Brandon's very accurate. And when it just happened to start clicking for us last week against Temple. And I tell you, in practice, our defense has a tough time covering. And it's just been good to find something that works for Brandon. And it's also going to help our running game. It's going to help our speed guys in the backfield. And I think today we were over 100 yards again. But of course, Llewellyn had quite a few. And it was good to see him do that. And we're going to use him quite a bit going down the line just to help Brandon out because of, we've got 5 tough games coming up. And we're going to have to create some more running game other than just a running back running out of the backfield.
You mentioned blitzing more today. Was that mostly because you're going up against a freshman quarterback, or is that something you'd like to do more of as you move forward?
No, we'd like to do more. The problem is we've been so short at corner. We've got some new guys that are having to play, and so we hadn't been as aggressive of working on it and calling it a game. Today we just decided, hey, we got a good opportunity, make this kid throw on time, get in his face, And, you know, we got guys like Nick Temple that come off the edge and make plays. Our defensive ends, we've been holding them back a little bit. So it was good to see us turn the horses loose on them today. And again, when you get 8 sacks, you're doing something right. We probably averaged maybe 2, possibly 3 in some games, but 8 makes a big difference in terms of possession time, getting the other team off the field. But you got to pay the price sometimes, and they were able to get the ball to 85. He's a good football player.
What made you decide to let Jordan throw a pass?
Well, we want to do a lot of things with Jordan. We can't just run up and run off tackle and run counter plays with him. This became a good situation where we said, okay, let's give people something to work on. You know, they're going to have to fear Jordan throwing the ball because he can throw it. He's an ex-quarterback, and he can actually run most of the offense. And you know, I felt bad for Benny today. He goes out, and we wanted to play him more 2 turnovers. I mean, just, you know, he's got to understand, you know, you've got to grab hold of the offense and run it. I mean, not just because you're ahead doesn't mean that you go out and you play lackadaisical and you give up plays. You've got to be more precise. So it was good to get all of them in the game, but it was really good to get a lot of different plays out of Llewellyn and give the people down the line something to work on.
To get to 2-1 in the conference, and Louisville losing last night, it kind of seems to reopen things a little bit in the conference. You kind of see it that way, that this is kind of re-energized maybe? Yeah, we still got a chance, you know, and last night that put UCF in the driver's seat, but, you know, there's still a lot of football to play, you know, and they were, you know, if you see the film on the Memphis game, you don't know how they won it. They had to get 2 fumbles in the last minute of the game to win the game. So, you know, we got a lot of work to do, but we still got that in the back of our mind, shooting for to win out to see what happens. And we got a chance to do that, but we just got to keep getting better. It looks like we probably lost Foster today. You know, covering a kick, we seemed like we lose one a game, and it's one of those things we can't have that keep happening to us. We've just been a little bit unlucky on that side of the ball.
Penalties today, I know they've been a concern, but just 3, maybe that's 3 too many?
Yeah, and really they came from the same official on the other side of the field, and we had a couple that we're still trying to get the reason to call offensive face mask on us, and then we got a push off. But it all goes back, you know, you're going to have those. We just don't need them on the offensive line. Offensive line is we've hurt ourselves with the offensive line penalties, procedures, and all those things, holdings, and we didn't have those today. So that's a big improvement.
What do you see for Bujnak? How long is he out? Maybe just 1 game?
Well, I think it'll be fine coming up. You know, now we've got 10 days. We needed to give him one off. His foot just was hurting too much, and he could have played, but we felt like moving Currington over and playing Slumer on that side, get some more experience. And I think it helped us because Bujnak, you know, he just wasn't the same guy last week playing. He's trying. It's just when you've got that much pain in your foot, it's nothing. I guess it'll be structurally repaired if they can do it at the end of the season. There's not anything they can do right now, and he just wants to go ahead and play through it. So 5 games left, and if you can look at it the way it sets, we've got a lot of time off between some games, and so that's going to help all of them get rested a little bit.